Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through chair yoga. We are going to practice for 30 minutes today. As we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any of the stretches that we're working with don't work for your body, please skip them. You can come on out and you can modify. And as we go through our class today, always just make sure that you feel safe and secure in your chair. I know some of us may be working with chairs that have wheels on them, may not be able to put them in the lock position. So if any of the positions don't make you feel comfortable, definitely just skip them. Meet us in the next stretch. So as we go through our class today, we'll be doing a practice for the full body. So we'll work on releasing tension in the full body. I'd love to take some time and focus a little bit more on our wrists today. I know that our wrists hold a lot of tension through the workday, being at the computer with the keyboard, being on the phone, holding, scrolling. So much tension can build up in the wrist. So we're definitely going to work on releasing that today, which will be really great. And also chair yoga is wonderful for bringing down stress levels, bringing in that element of relaxation, and rejuvenating the mind and rejuvenating the body. So why don't we begin with a little centering, just giving us an opportunity to release the day so far, to drop into our body and into our breaths and into the present moment. So to do our centering, if it feels comfortable, you might want to scooch towards the edge of your seat. And that will just help you to keep the spine a little straighter. Sometimes when we're sitting into the back of the chair, we have a tendency to round our back. So this will just keep the heart a little more open. Let our shoulders relax down. Good. And then if you feel comfortable here, you can take a moment to close your eyes. And we're just going to begin to become aware of our body, where our body meets the ground. So feel the feet grounded and planted down. Maybe feel the sitting bones pressing into the chair. And then simply doing a scan of the body here. Where are you holding tension? And just seeing if you can let that tension go as you exhale. And take a moment to become aware of your breath. And try to inhale and exhale through the nose. So we'll avoid breathing through the mouth through this next 30 minutes. And this breathing technique of inhale and exhale through the nose helps to keep the mind and the body calm and relaxed and at ease. With each exhale, just feeling tension melting, feeling the eyebrows relaxing and the jaw relaxes. Tension that you may hold in the shoulders, just feeling how that releases with the breath. If you'd like, set an intention for class. Intention is a goal or desire. It can be anything. Maybe that you want to spend this next 30 minutes relaxing, giving back to yourself a little bit, self-care, self-love. Maybe you bring a bit of tension to class with you in your body, and it would just be really nice to release that, to let that go. So let's take a moment here and we will gently take our chin into the chest. So we'll just let our head hang heavy like a weight. And then relaxing the head back, floating the gaze up to the sky. And chin to chest, head relaxes. Head floats and relaxes back. Let's go forward and we'll go back one more time. Now, as we take that movement with our neck, let's bring that into the full spine. So hands can come to the heart in prayer. We are going to drop our chin to our chest. We are going to round through our back. So a little bit of rounding there in that upper back, mid back. And then let's draw the heart forward. We're going to open the chest and the heart. Let your shoulders relax. We're going to aim for a back bend here. And chin to chest. Round through your back. Heart floats forward, shoulders relax. And then we'll just float through a little cat dog stretch here, also sometimes called cat cow stretch. So just a really nice movement for the spine, just warming that full spine up. And then we'll bring ourselves back to neutral. Take a shoulder roll here, shoulders up, back and down. And then gently soften your right ear to the right shoulder. So move into a lateral stretch for the neck. Full breath in, brings you through center. Let's take left ear to left shoulder. And 2 times to the right and 2 times to the left. And then once you come back to center, let's take that lateral movement into our full spine so we can bring our hands up and overhead. Let's take steeple through the hands. So fingers will interlock. We'll release the index fingers. We're going to take a nice full breath to lengthen. We will gently shift the weight to the right and then off to the left. Now, as you create this movement here, really try to get weighted and grounded in the sitting bones. So as we lean to the right, we don't want our left sitting bone to lift up. We don't want to lean to the left too much. It's just more that the spine is leaning. The fingers are reaching. And we'll bring ourselves back through to neutral. We can relax those hands down. We'll take a nice full breath in here. Let's gaze off our right shoulder. We'll take ourselves into a twist for the neck. Back to center. Let's find that length, reach, stretch up, gaze to the left. And we'll go 2 times to the right and 2 times to the left. Making your way back to neutral. Let's take our hands up to the sky, full breath in. Taking that neck twist into the full spine, let's release the hands to the right. So left hand can grab onto the right knee. Right hand can grab onto the chair behind you. And then back through the center. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, and release to the other side. See if you can relax your shoulders from your ears. Back to center, hands up. Let's go 2 times to the right and 2 times to the left. And we will release. Let's bring ourselves back through the center. We can relax our hands down. We'll wrap it up with that shoulder roll. Take a nice full breath in and out. Let's come up to stand. I'd love to work a little bit with some standing stretches using the chair. And as we begin here, I'd love to work a little bit with our quads. So to start with the quad stretch, what you'll do is let's walk to the left side of our chair. And what we'll do is we're going to take our right knee and we're just going to place it onto the chair just like this. We'll be onto the side a little bit. So this is great because if your balance is a little challenging today, you have the support here of the chair. So let's try for a right hand for the right foot to pull that leg in. And if this is feeling really easy, you may want to step up and get away from the seat a little bit. So if you need the seat to be there to steady the knee, you can have it. But if you feel like you can step away, that's an option. And then even hand can reach there for the chair if you like, or you can release that. We're just going to hold this one for a moment. So really nice opportunity to open up the quad on the right side. Also nice for the hip flexor and the psoas in the front of the hip. And if you've been sitting a lot through the day already, definitely a really good stretch to do because those muscles, the quad, hip flexor, psoas, all of that really shortens when we're sitting. So always so beneficial to incorporate a little quad stretch here and there. Let's begin to release. We can step to the other side of our chair. And then let's bring that left knee on. I'm going to reach back for the left foot. And you can have your knee on the chair if you need it, but you can always step away. And then you have the option to bring your hand there if you need it as well. And we'll just breathe here. So maybe noticing if the stretch feels very similar on the side of the body to the first side that we worked on. May feel very similar, may feel very different one side to the next side. And we'll let it go. Let's come on out and we can just give it a little shake out the legs, shake out the wrists. So let's come back and we'll work a little bit more with the spine. Bringing your chair to the left side of you. Let's take that left hand on the chair. We're going to sweep our right arm up and over. So we're just going to work for that nice lateral stretch there in the spine. And we'll see if we can roll our left shoulder under and then maybe right shoulder rolls open. This is feeling like we could shine our heart right to the sky. Now let's take our right foot. We're just going to step it forward so that we can cross our legs. And then we'll just see if that gives us a little different stretch. We can get into the IT band a little bit more here. We can get into the waist, into the side body a little bit more. And then we're going to stay here, but we're just going to switch up those legs. So we're going to take our right foot and bring it behind this time. And we'll just see how that changes up the stretch. It's always nice to have a little inquiry of our body, what the stretch feels like, where we feel it. And we're going to come on out. We can unwrap the legs. We'll do a reset on the upper body. And let's bring that chair off to the right. We'll take our right hand onto the chair. Let's bring that left arm up, over. We'll find our side stretch. And left foot, let's kick it in front this time. Legs are going to be crossed. And let's see if we can take this left hip and really press it out to the side of the room. Maybe imagining that you could create a little space in between the ribs with each breath. So nice, deep inhale and nice, deep exhale. We're going to flip those feet. So let's take our left foot. We're going to weave it behind, crossing the legs, finding that length, and then gently softening into the side stretch. Maybe rolling that left shoulder back. Give yourself a little bit more stretch here. Also, try to get grounded in both of your feet. You don't want to press too firmly in one foot and then a little light in the other. So nice, grounded, even connection here. We can bring ourselves on up. Let's reset. We can shake it out. Legs can reset, arms reset. And let's try out a variation of a down dog with the chair. So for this one, we're going to take our hands onto the top there. We're going to walk our feet back. So if your chair has wheels, you want to be super careful. But honestly, all of the weight will be back in your heels. There's not really much weight in the hands. We don't want a sensation of pushing the chair away or pressing away from us. We really want to draw the weight back just to get the maximum stretch. So we'll bring our hands gently on the top of the chair. We're going to walk our feet back as best as we can. And then we can stretch the hands forward here. So really try to feel that in your body. Try to bring the weight into your heels. Get really light in your hands. We're going to breathe. We'll feel the backs of the legs lengthening. We'll feel the sitting bones reach to the sky. We're going to feel our spine lengthen as well. Allow for a neutral gaze here. So look right straight down. Feel your arms frame your ear. Stay here. If you'd like to intensify the stretch, feel free to take your right hand to your left thigh and give yourself a little twist. So almost create a sensation that your right shoulder could spin underneath that left shoulder and left arm. We're going to reset back into that down dog variation. And then let's take opposite hand for opposite thigh. Allow for yourself to twist here. Let's find that breath. Inhale deeply and exhale deeply. We're going to reset on our hands. We're going to walk our feet in towards our chair. I'm going to float up one vertebrae at a time. And then let's do a nice shoulder roll as we stand up nice and straight. Let's give that a try. Little different variation with our seat this time. So what we'll do is we're going to spin our chair around. We're going to bring our weight on, or we're going to take our hands onto our chair right on the seat, but very similar to what we just did. There really is not a lot of weight in the hands. We're not pressing our chair away. We're actually pressing our hips up and back, and we're pressing the weight into our heels. So we're just going to you could even be tented on the fingertips. That shows how little weight is in the hands. So we're going to have our hands on our seat, and then we're going to press our hips up, and then we're going to find that length here. So this variation will be a little bit more like an inversion. So the head a little lower than the heart. Again, bring the weight back into your heels. Take the sitting bones up towards the sky. Try to lengthen through your spine. Let your head relax. Let your neck relax. Get very light in the hands. Almost feeling like you could lift your hands up. So maybe be tented up onto the fingertips to really feel that in your body. And we're going to walk out of this one. So we'll just walk our toes in towards our chair. Stay in a forward fold for a moment. And then as you take your forward fold, feel free to bend one knee and bend the other knee. And maybe relax the head yes and no. So you could shake the head yes, you could shake the head no. Nice little reset here. As you come to stillness, let's take a nice bend in the knees. We're going to lower the stomach, lift up through the heart. We'll do a round of our back body, chin to chest, head hangs heavy. Lower the stomach, lift through the heart space. Round through the back body. And just flowing through that cat, dog, cat, cow. So a little different variation than we tried earlier. We're going to try to find length on the in-breath, length on the out-breath. Try to relax the shoulders from the ears. We'll create a little space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. Let's come to a neutral spine here. We're going to walk our hands up to the right, coming into a side stretch in our fold. Try to ground evenly through the inside and the outside of each foot. We'll bring ourselves back to center, hands to the other side. Reaching and stretching through the waist. Lengthen through the side body, arm and fingertips. Back through to center. Let's try for a little twist here. We're going to start by bending deeply into our right knee. Right hand will plant, left hand will lift. Either hand to the sky. You can wrap your arm around your low back. So this will take us into our open twist. This one tends to be a little easier than our closed twist, which we will try in just a moment. We are going to gently unwrap the pose. Try to keep your legs exactly how they are. So we're going to want to keep a bend in that knee. And then let's lift that opposite hand up. Nice full breath in here. This one might be a little bit more challenging. So sometimes hand at the hip works. Arm wrapping around your low back works. Maybe float the gaze up. Nice full breath in and out. We're going to begin to reset. We'll take a nice deep bend in the opposite leg. And then just feeling that stretch here. So the knee that's bent, we're going to keep that hand down. And then the opposite hand's going to lift. So we're going to land in our open twist. And then this one can also be a nice opportunity to give you that IT band stretch. So nice iliotibial band stretch from your hip down to your knee. Always really good to stretch that. It can get so tense and so tight. So let's release the hand down. Our legs are going to stay exactly how they are. Now the knee that is bent, let's begin to lift that hand. And that's going to take us to our closed twist. So a little bit more challenging. And then you have those three options with the arms. You can figure out what feels best for your body. We'll just breathe into that stretch. Nice inhale and exhale. So good for the full spine, getting a twist. Good for the digestive system. We're gonna release the hands and we're gonna release through the legs. Let's lower the stomach. We're gonna lift up through the heart. We'll do a little round of our spine to come on up to standing. Full breath in, and then drawing your hands down as you exhale. I would love to work with one more balancing pose, and I thought we could work with a pose called Warrior 3 using our chair. So for this one, we're gonna bring our hands down onto our seat, and we're gonna lift our right leg up. We're gonna just play here with the balance. So if this feels very challenging, sometimes just having the toes on the ground and then playing with this idea of lifting the leg can be helpful. And it's so nice to have the option to have the hands on the seat, but if you did want to challenge your balance a bit more, you could always pick your hands up. Now, find a neutral space to look at. So it might be the space that's in between the hands, or if you really lengthen the back of your neck and you just gaze straight down. And feel nice and grounded in your left foot. We'll press through the inside, through the outside. And then we're gonna release. So let's take our right foot to meet our left foot. And then left leg floats back, and we'll try that on the other side. Maybe rolling your left hip down a little bit, trying to get nice and even here in the low back and even in the hips. Also imagine if you saw yourself from the side that you could create this capital T shape with your body. And we're gonna release. Let's take our left foot to meet our right. We will lower the stomach, lift up through the heart, rounding the back. Let's bring it up to stand. Inhale, hands at heart as you exhale. Let's come on down to our seat. We're gonna find a nice, comfortable seated position. We'll take some time to dive into the wrists like I promised at the beginning of class. We'll do some nice wrist releases and stretches. So if you would like, you can come sit to the edge of the seat just to keep the spine a little straighter. It also helps to engage your core, which is a great benefit. So let's start with our right hand. We're gonna float our fingertips up. Left hand's gonna come in, and we're just gonna pull the fingertips back for a moment. We are gonna press out through the palm and press out through the crease in the elbow. And we'll take a nice deep full inhale here and a nice deep full exhale here. And then we'll release. Left fingertips, let's let them point up. We're gonna come in with that right hand, draw the fingertips back. So this is a great stretch because when we're on our phone or we're typing a lot, all of these muscles are gonna shorten on us. So it's nice to give them a little stretch. That's why you might be feeling this. I definitely feel that right there when I do this one. So always good to give those muscles a little TLC. They do so much for us all day, every day. And then we're gonna release. Right hand can relax down. We're gonna come in with the left hand. We'll press it. And if you don't do the stretch much, you might be feeling this here because what happens as we're typing and with the phone, these muscles are gonna shorten. So it's nice to give them a little stretch, let them elongate a little bit. And just take an inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. We are going to relax the left hand down and then we'll come on in. Right hand can press it. You might notice whether you're right-handed or left-handed if you feel more of a stretch on one side compared to the other side. And we're gonna release, we're gonna shake it out a little bit. So we're gonna go through a little series here and it's very small movements, but personally what I find is that it definitely gives a good stretch and I can feel it. So let's take hands into prayer at the heart. And for this one, we're going to encourage our elbows up a little bit so that if you could see yourself, that you would have this alignment of elbows in line with wrists and all the way through here. So we're going to keep our prayer hands together. We're going to keep our arms at this level and we're just going to do a little glide. So we're going to send our hands off to the right. And then we'll breathe. See if you can relax your shoulders from your ears. And then we'll bring ourselves back to neutral. Let's glide the hands to the left. And sometimes when I do this, I feel this kind of like a zinging stretch that flows on the outside of the arm. So maybe just in your own body, just seeing where you feel, where you experience that stretch. And from here, let's come back to center. We're going to take our left hand and then press into the right so that our left palm is going to peel away from the right. And we're just going to give a little bit more stretch here. We're just going to feel that left hand pressing into the right, and then the left palm peels away from the right. And I just might give you that little deeper stretch in through here. And so trying to settle the shoulders from our ears a bit. It's so easy to let them creep up as we do these stretches. We're going to come back to our prayer hands. We're going to take that right hand and press it into the left. We're going to feel our right palm peel away. Shoulders, try to feel them nice and even. And we can release. We're going to come back to center. We're going to work on flipping the wrists over. And what's going to want to happen here is our palms are going to want to peel from one another. So as best as you can, try to press them together. And you're not going to get them exactly parallel down, but try to get those fingertips pointing down as best as you can. And we're just going to try that a few more times here. And let's release. We're going to give that a little shake on out. Bringing the hands up to the sky. Let's take wrist circles here. So as we circle, we're just going to sweep those arms out nice and wide. We're going to circle those wrists, but also we'll get a little strengthening going on in our shoulders, which is such a good benefit. And then we'll reverse. We're going to flow in the other direction, and we're just going to let our hands float up. And we'll try that again. Let's reverse. And then let's go again. We'll reverse the movement and then float up. Good. You can relax the hands down. We're just going to shake it out a little bit. And then same movement. We're going to try for circling, but we're going to activate the hands a little differently. So for this one, I want you to take your middle finger and your ring finger, and we're going to try to glue them together, and we're going to try to separate them from the other fingers. And we're going to do our circles out to the side. We'll be in T with circling. And what I want to imagine is that you were taking your middle finger and your index finger, and you are trying to scoot through something where there is resistance. So maybe imagine peanut butter. And we're going to work on our wrist circles, but we're going to imagine that we're kind of going through this thicker material so that there's a little resistance, and it's just going to help to activate the wrists a little differently, and it's really going to help to release some of that stress and tension there. So let's put our arms out into T. You can have a little bend in the elbows if you want. And we're just going to find our circles. We're going to imagining that we're scooping that middle and index finger, maybe through some honey, peanut butter. Good. We'll go a few more times here. And then we'll try to reverse. It might not be as fluid, but it's always nice if you circle one way to circle the other. So as best as we can, we'll try to do 5 circles in the opposite direction. And we can release. Let's take our hands together. Fingers will interlock, palms will touch, and then we'll just circle out through the wrists. This one's got to be probably one of my favorite wrist stretches. Definitely do this a lot, especially when I've been at the computer, been on that phone for a long time with no break. Definitely such a good reset. And then we'll reverse. We'll go in the other direction. If that's a new movement for you, it might be a little challenging first time. Sometimes our body's not always used to moving in certain ways, so it can take the body a little time to catch up. We're going to give it a little shake on out. Hands relax down. Let's do a shoulder roll here. Thank you so much for joining today. Really great to be here with you to break up the Friday morning with you all. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. And just a reminder, all of these stretches that we work with today, you can easily weave them into your workday. So if you know that you tend to hold tension in a particular area, doing these stretches for 20 seconds, even 30, 60 seconds if you have it, can really bring the mind and the body a lot of relief. I look forward to seeing you soon. I'll be back on Monday. We have our all levels yoga on the yoga mat. So I would love for you to join us. That's going to be at 5:30 East Coast time. And that's a 45-minute practice on the yoga mat. So it'll be great to see you there. Take care. Have a good weekend.